It is the highest high, and it is surrender to the unknown, trust.
Katy Perry thought she was making history. Instead, she walked straight into the biggest PR disaster of her career. The pop icon, known for her dazzling costumes and chart-topping anthems, had one goal in mind: inspire a generation by becoming a symbol of female empowerment in space. But the moment she strapped into Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin rocket, everything started unraveling. What was meant to be a groundbreaking leap toward progress quickly turned into a fiery crash landing. Not in space, but here on Earth, where the backlash was louder than any rocket engine. And what happened next completely flipped her career upside down. Let's rewind. The buzz started when Katy Perry announced she'd be boarding Blue Origin's New Shepard, the very same rocket that had been marketed as a revolutionary step for civilian space travel. Unlike NASA's grueling astronaut program, this wasn't about years of training or high-stakes science. This was a quick commercial flight to the outer edges of Earth's atmosphere. And for Perry, it was a chance to blend symbolism with spectacle. She even brought along a daisy, a tribute to her daughter, Daisy Dove Bloom, hoping to send a message of love, hope, and womanhood into the cosmos. The mission was framed as a win for women, a poetic gesture wrapped in spacesuits and press releases. But the public didn't see it that way at all. From the moment the footage hit social media, the backlash was instant and brutal. Instead of praise, the internet exploded with fury. Users called it one of the most tone-deaf celebrity stunts of the decade. Instead of making space for women, as Perry claimed, she was accused of taking up space, literally and metaphorically. Critics unleashed a storm of commentary, blasting her for turning a billionaire's vanity project into a fake feminist victory lap. Memes spread like wildfire, mocking the singer's zero-gravity float and comparing her rocket ride to an overpriced theme park attraction. But what really pushed the public over the edge? The context. Real female astronauts have fought for decades just to be included in the field of space exploration. Women like Sally Ride, the first American woman in space, or Dr. Mae Jemison, the first Black woman to go beyond Earth's atmosphere, earned their place through years of sacrifice, intense training, and real scientific achievement. Katy Perry's 11-minute joyride, as critics called it, trivialized that legacy. Her trip wasn't earned, it was bought. And that, for many people, made all the difference. It didn't help that the rocket she chose to ride, Blue Origin's New Shepard, has its own baggage. The company, backed by Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, has faced allegations of toxic workplace culture, billionaire elitism, and placing vanity over real scientific advancement. Pairing a pop star with a controversial space company during a time of rising resentment toward extreme wealth was like pouring gasoline on a fire, and then lighting it with a rocket engine. Even worse, Perry's self-congratulatory tone made everything feel wildly out of touch. In pre-flight interviews, she spoke about breaking barriers, empowering women, and reaching for the stars. All noble ideas. But once the footage aired, it became clear to the public that this wasn't about progress. It was about spectacle. The daisy floating beside her in the capsule, which she had hoped would become an iconic symbol of hope, was instead used in memes, mocking her privilege. For many, it wasn't empowerment. It was just privilege on parade. Mainstream media didn't hold back either. Headlines skewered the stunt. Editorials labeled it hollow, performative, and a masterclass in celebrity disconnect. Think pieces asked why celebrities continue to chase approval through flashy, expensive gestures instead of using their platforms for real change. One article described the trip as the space version of wearing a pink ribbon without donating a cent. Another said it was proof that even the stars can't read the room. And then came the celebrity shade. While few mentioned Perry by name, the message was crystal clear. A well-known actor slammed the stunt as a billionaire playdate dressed up as a social cause. A Grammy-winning singer posted on X, formerly Twitter, Flying to space for likes while the world burns? Embarrassing. These weren't random trolls. These were fellow celebrities. And their silence about Perry, coupled with targeted barbs, spoke volumes. In Hollywood, shade is currency, and Katy Perry's account was suddenly overdrawn. Meanwhile, Perry's fan base, once fiercely loyal, started to splinter. On Instagram, her comments filled up with confusion and disappointment. Some asked why she'd associate with a company like Blue Origin. Others demanded she apologize. A few diehard fans tried to defend her, saying her intentions were good. But even among her most dedicated supporters, the mood had shifted. The narrative had changed. This wasn't Katy Perry, the relatable pop queen. This was Katy Perry, the out-of-touch millionaire trying to sell inspiration from the window of a luxury spacecraft. Behind the scenes, things were even worse. Insiders revealed that Perry had been blindsided by the backlash. She truly believed the trip would be celebrated, that she'd be seen as brave, forward-thinking, and empowering. Instead, it turned into a nightmare. According to one anonymous source, Perry regrets ever sharing the footage of the floating daisy. What she thought would be a heartwarming gesture toward her daughter became a lightning rod for mockery. She reportedly told her team she wished the video had never aired. As the firestorm continued, her team scrambled into full damage control mode. Mentions of the space trip were quietly scrubbed from official pages. Interviews promoting the launch were pulled or buried. PR managers began redirecting attention back to Perry's upcoming music projects in hopes of drowning out the noise. But in today's media climate, it's not that simple. Public opinion doesn't just flip overnight, especially when authenticity is the currency and performative activism the crime. To make matters worse, industry insiders say Perry's misstep has created tension within the celebrity world. Agents and publicists are reportedly warning their clients to steer clear of flashy stunts, especially those tied to billionaires or hot-button issues. Philanthropic strategists have been brought in to help Perry reframe her public image. Rumors suggest she's considering a charitable initiative focused on STEM education for girls, a pivot that feels a little too late for some. And yet the damage isn't just professional, it's personal. Perry had long hoped to be seen as someone who evolved with the times, who stood for something beyond glitter and wigs. But this miscalculation may have cost her the credibility she worked so hard to build. For a star who once dominated the charts and connected with millions through songs like Firework and Roar, the gap between who she is and how she's now perceived feels wider than ever. What was supposed to be a triumphant return to the spotlight has now become a masterclass in what not to do as a celebrity in 2025. In an era where sincerity is under the microscope and every move is dissected by millions in real time, Perry's space stunt serves as a cautionary tale. She tried to manufacture meaning to force a moment, and the public saw right through it. Katy Perry hasn't released a formal statement about the incident. Some insiders believe she's being advised to stay silent, hoping the backlash dies down on its own. But silence speaks too. And in this case, it's saying, "We didn't think this through." The fallout continues. Music insiders say some radio stations have pulled back on playing Perry's tracks. TV appearances have reportedly been postponed. A major brand partnership rumored to involve her was quietly shelved. It's not cancellation, but it's not far off. It's a slow fade, the kind of career setback that can take years to recover from, if at all. At its core, this wasn't about a rocket ride. It was about timing, tone, and trust. And in every category, Perry missed the mark. She set out to make history, but ended up making headlines for all the wrong reasons. In trying to symbolize empowerment, she stumbled into elitism. In seeking relevance, she revealed a disconnect. And in chasing the stars, she forgot to look down at the people watching from Earth. Her intentions may have been good, but in 2025, good intentions aren't enough. Not when the public demands accountability, not when sincerity can't be bought with a press release, and certainly not when a multi-million-dollar stunt is passed off as progress. Katy Perry's Space Odyssey was meant to launch her back into cultural relevance. Instead, it exposed a harsh truth. In the age of authenticity, even stars can fall hard.
I hope they can see the unity that we modeled and replicate that and understand that we weren't just taking up space, we were making space.